one here as regards team use. Obviously, Harvey Elliott has picked up that injury. How disappointing is that for him, and how long is he looking at? At the same time, is Chiesa now ready to come in and impact the squad for you as well?
They always have one question, and that's why they ask two in one. Harvey is, of course, a big disappointment for him, but not only for him, also for us, because he didn't play that much in the first 3 games, but he played a lot in pre-season and he showed himself really well. So, of course, when he stayed fit, he would have had a lot of playing time in the upcoming fixtures, but now he isn't, and that also gives a chance to someone else. So it's first and foremost a blow for himself, and in the end also for us, because I think availability is important in the phase of the season where we play 7 games in 22 days, I think. So it's a blow for the both of us, but he will work as hard as always to come back in the best possible way. And then Federico has trained with the team now 3 or 4 times. So let's see how he does today and which decision I make, because we have more than 20 players. So if I choose for a position or if I choose the ones that are the fittest at the moment.
During the international break, there's obviously been those quotes from Kelleher saying that he wants first-team football and will have to look elsewhere. How do you deal with a situation like that, where a member of the squad is effectively unsettled because he wants that opportunity for first-team football?
I would be really worried if a player comes out saying, I don't care about playing first-team football. I like it so much on the bench, I want to stay there for the rest of my life. That would be a bigger worry for me. So it's normal that they want to play, but it's also normal that a club like this that tries to compete for trophies has more than 11 players that can play. And as long as they accept their situation, not accepting in a way I don't care that I'm not playing, but accepting it by helping the team whenever they have to, then it's a close place to be in. And I think Cruyff has shown many times in the past few years, and even in pre-season, that he's every time ready when we need him. So it's a good thing that he wants to play, and who knows, he's going to play for us in the future. At this moment, I think it's also quite clear that Alisson is the number 1. But last season he played many games, so normal situation for a player to be in if you're not playing, that you want to play, but he handles the situation really well.
3 wins to start the season without conceding, which doesn't happen too often. It seems a big factor in that has been the form of Gravenberch. What has really made the difference, and what work has he had to put into, I suppose, learn that position?
Yeah, I learned that position. He's been a midfielder all his life, and maybe he's playing a bit deeper is the English word, I think, a bit lower, deeper than he did before, but it's not that much of a difference. I think he, like the other ones who do really well, benefit from how the team is playing. And Ryan came back strong, like many others, and strong I mean that he was really fit, played some good games and took his chance. But I think in general, like the others who score goals, and we are talking about the benefits also from the team structure.
Trust as well, then? Trust of you?
Yeah, if trust means that you play him, then I trust him. But I also trust the ones that I'm not playing. So I think it's always the most easy argument to give. Yeah, you give him trust, that's why he plays good. If it was that simple, I would have thrown my trust to every player. But we're going to go out to the training ground hoping to prepare them in the best possible way. I believe more in this than in the word trust. But if he trusts his teammates, if he trusts the structure, then and the way we play, that will help, of course. Yeah.
Given the international break after the 3 games that you'd had and such a great start, is there any concern that the momentum that you built up there might be interrupted because of that?
That's always the questions after 2 weeks. But if you saw them playing with the national teams, I think the momentum is still there for the individual. And now let's see if they come back together, if they can play the same way as they did in the last few games. But it also depends on the opponent you face. So sometimes they make it more difficult for you, or than in other situations. So, of course, we look at ourselves a lot, but you also have to relate it to the team you face. And Nottingham Forest hasn't lost this season yet. I think they won the last 2 games of last season, so they're in a good place as well. So it's going to be a tough one and an interesting one to look forward to.
And in terms of the defence not having conceded a goal so far, how much work did you initially think that you needed to do on that when you first arrived? Was that one of your top priorities when you got here?
Yeah, to tell them exactly what the opposite of what you are saying. The defense is keeping a clean sheet. In my opinion, it's not the defense who keep a clean sheet. It's 11 players who keep a clean sheet, and that's why we try to convince them constantly about this. Because in an ideal world, we don't need Alisson. But that ideal world is still not there, because against United we needed him a few times. Against Brentford we needed him one time in particular, and against Ipswich in the first half as well. So it's a team performance that we don't concede, and that has a lot to do with us putting in a lot of work without the ball.
Hi, Arne. In terms of the contract situations of Trent, Federico and Arne Slot, how much of a distraction is it, and would it be better if the situations were resolved quickly?
It's again the boring answer which you're going to get from me as long as there's no news about this, but we don't talk about contract situations over here. Is it distractive? Is that what you use for me? No, it isn't, because I'm fully focused on the individuals in the team, and they are part of the team, and trying to work with them in the best possible way to get the best out of them. So it's not a distraction for me at all.
Trent played 2 full games for England over the break, played very well. You've been managing his minutes to start the season. Is that something you will still continue to do, or do you now see him as an adverse to go to England that he can do 90 minutes for you?
Yeah, he proved he could do 90 minutes, but maybe he could have done that before as well. In the Ipswich game, I saw that he became a bit tired towards the end of the game. But he played 2 games afterwards, so I think he's completely ready to play 90. And sometimes in the beginning it was that I saw he was tired, and sometimes it's also having another player like Conor Bradley who can do the job really well. So he's able to play 90. He showed, like all the others. But I have a whole team to manage and a whole team to prepare for the season, and it's also good for Conor to get his playing minutes, or for the one that comes in for Mo, or the one that comes in for, which are the ones that I took off, I don't know exactly. So it's not always you guys, and I understand, try to look always at the individual. I look at the team. And I have to prepare the whole team, the whole squad, for the upcoming fixtures.
Can you check, did everyone return okay from this afternoon? The less Callister seems to have maybe a little issue.
Yeah, he was out in the last game, but he trained with us yesterday. But of course, the press conference started with a question about Harvey Elliott. He didn't stay fit, unfortunately, so he's out for a longer time. But I'm expecting Maka to be with us tomorrow.
Nobody else?
No, I don't think anyone else, do we? No.
Arne, you've had a very settled team so far, but with this schedule now with 7 games in the next 3 weeks, do you see that as you're going to have to change in terms of rotating, and it's going to give opportunities to players that haven't had those chances so far this season?
That's something that I decide before every game. So my former teams were able to play. We were actually playing almost every game with the same players, but it's a different league. So I might have to adjust to that, but it also depends on what they show. So and what they show, I mean in terms of physique. In the first 3 games we were really strong physique, but we only played 1 game each 7 days. Now they have a point to prove, and I assume that they all want to play every game. So if they want to, they have to show up every time, and I don't mean in also in quality, but especially in work rate. But we have more than 11 very good players, so I can use more. But I can't tell you now if I'm going to do so or not. That I'm going to decide before every game that comes up. And I get some feedback from medical staff, performance staff, where they are and what's the best thing to do, and then we make the decision before every game.
Hi, Arne. Alongside Trent, there was actually 10 of your squad who played 2 full games over this international break, and of all the English teams playing in Europe, no one else had more than 5.
Oh.
Do you accept this as a price of success, or is there a chance maybe you might be having a bit of a quiet word for some of the international managers?
In some situations, I was really happy with the fact that they played 90. So Gerard Kwanzaa I think he played 2 times 90. Kostas Tsimikas played 2 times 90. Cody played a lot of minutes, and we were just discussing that I've played in the first 3 games mostly the same players. Conor Bradley played 2 times 90. So it was for now it was a present that I got from most national team coaches. Maybe in the future I would sometimes. Would love to be a bit different, but it's a positive thing that we are in such a good place that we have 10 players that can play every minute for the national team. It says a lot about the quality we have.
Well done.
Yeah.
Next up.
Thanks, Arne.
You're welcome.